Hello everyone, hope you enjoyed my previous video. Today, next I'm going to be reading Thomas's Train, a story about Thomas being impatient, the second story in the Thomas the Tank Engine storybook. Now, before I read the story, yes, I do like this episode. And I know this episode was criticized by some people for its unrealism, such as Thomas leaving the train behind. But this story was actually based on a real event. In fact, it happened on different railways. Well, in Europe at least. Thomas's Train by the Reverend W. Aldrey. Thomas often grumbled because he was not allowed to pull passenger trains. The other engines laughed. "You're too impatient," they said. "You'd be sure to leave something behind." "Rubbish," said Thomas crossly. "You just wait. I'll show you." One night he and Henry were alone. Henry was ill. The man worked hard, but Henry didn't get better. Now, Henry usually pulled the first train in the morning, and Thomas had to get his coaches ready. If Henry is ill, Thomas thought, perhaps I shall pull his train. Thomas ran to find the coaches. Come along, he fussed. There's plenty of time, grumbled the coaches. He took them to the platform and wanted to run around in front at once, but his driver wouldn't let him. Don't be impatient, Thomas, he said. So Thomas waited and waited. The people got in, the guard and station master walked up and down, the porters banged the doors, and still Henry didn't come. Thomas got more and more excited every minute. Sir Topham came out of his office to see what was the matter. The guard and the station master told him about Henry. Find another engine, he ordered. There's only Thomas, they said. You'll have to do it then, Thomas. Be quick now. So Thomas ran round to the front and backed up to the coaches, ready to start. Don't be impatient, said his driver. Wait till everything is ready. But Thomas was too excited to listen to a word he said. What happened then, no one knows. Perhaps they forgot to couple Thomas to the train. Perhaps Thomas was too impatient to wait till they were ready. Or perhaps his driver pulled the lever by mistake. Anyhow, Thomas started. People shouted and waved at him, but he didn't stop. They're waving because I'm such a splendid engine, he thought importantly. Henry says it's hard to pull trains, but I think it's easy. Hurry, 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 he puffed, pretending to be like Gordon. As he passed the first signal box, he saw a man leaning out and waving and shouting. They're pleased to see me, he thought. They've never seen me pulling a train before. It's nice of them to wave, and he whistled, beep, beep, thank you, and hurried on. But then he came to a signal that said danger. Bother, he thought. I must stop. And I was going so nicely, too. What a nuisance signals are. And he blew an angry beep, beep on his whistle. One of the signalmen ran up. Hello, Thomas, he said. What are you doing here? I'm pulling the train, said Thomas proudly. Can't you see? Where are your coaches, then? Thomas looked back. Why, bless me, he said, if we haven't left them behind. Yes, said the signalman. You better go back quickly and fetch them." Poor Thomas was so sad he nearly cried. "Cheer up," says driver. "Let's go back quickly and try again." At the station, all the passengers were talking at once. They were telling Sir Topham Hatt, the station master, and the guard what a bad railway it was. But when Thomas came back and they saw how sad he was, they couldn't be cross. So they coupled him to the train, and this time he really pulled it. But for a long time afterward, the other engines laughed at Thomas and said, "Look, there's Thomas, who wanted to pull a train, but forgot about the coaches." But Thomas had already learned not to make the same mistake again. The end. Thomas certainly learned his lesson in the story, and that is to never make the same mistake, just like he did. Thomas was being impatient, he wasn't coupled to the train, and he ran off without his coaches. And yeah, I do respect people's opinions on the episode based on the story. But to tell you the truth, this story was actually based on real events. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And stay tuned for more stories.